The emperor walking around with butt naked, but everybody's saying, "Oh, wonderful clothes," except for a young child who says, "that the emperor's naked."
Free Talk Live.
All right. So when it comes to the whole ageist deal, I find it pretty ridiculous that okay, just because of your age, I don't think that means you're not qualified to do something. I think people, instead of looking at how old you are, should look at what you've done.
Yeah,
agreed.
Absolutely. Have you experienced this in your life, Joey?
I really have. I've given my opinion on things when other people have their own opinion and I disagree with them. They're like, well, you're only 14 or da da da. It's what does that prove? Why does that make my opinion invalid? Why does that make you right and me wrong?
It doesn't make your opinion invalid, and it doesn't make you wrong or anything like that. Right. What it does is it is a convenient excuse for somebody who's up against the wall, right? Your opinion's probably, whatever the issue is, we don't even know what we're talking about here, but on whatever issue, you might actually be right, and the person doesn't want to have to admit that somebody who's been around this earth for a fraction of the time that they have been is right about this issue, and they, at age 50 or 40 or 60 or however old they are, or 25 or whatever, that they've been around for so much longer, and they're wrong about that issue. So rather than think critically about the thing that you've said, rather than address whatever cognitive dissonance it is that they're coming up against in their minds, just, oh, you're 14. What do you know? You should be playing with toys.
Well, and they obviously can't. They don't know the answers well enough, and they haven't thought about it well enough to sit down and explain to you why you're wrong, right? Because it really doesn't. Your age doesn't make you wrong. You might be wrong, but if they can't explain to you why what you believe is incorrect, then the chances are they haven't even thought about it.
That's another good point. And further, in a lot of cases, people will underestimate young people, right? Yep. So they'll just figure, oh, well, you couldn't understand. You're only 14. You couldn't understand why.
You might understand better, actually, because you might not have gone through the amount of brainwashing that they have. You might actually be approaching it. It's the story of the emperor's new clothes, right? That old proverb, and then you've got the emperor walking around with butt naked, but everybody's saying, "Oh, wonderful clothes," except for a young child who says, "that the emperor's naked."
You're not supposed to say that.
You're not supposed to say it, but I do think that, of course, innovation and new ideas always comes from the youth. It has to.
Sure. They're the ones who can think outside of the box.
That's right.
At least if they haven't been put in that box by the government school system, they've been thrown into. Joey, anything else you want to share on the subject? Go ahead.
Yeah, speaking of the government school systems, I feel like they're just trying to basically make you a robot. It's oh, at this time you look at this, and at this time you learn this. Oh, and then you go to lunch, and then this and this and this. You have to go to certain things at certain times, and if you don't, you get punished. Who are you to punish me? If I find something I shouldn't be doing, or I find it ridiculous, why should I need a piece of paper to go to the bathroom?
Yeah. You know where else they do that? Prison. That's where else they have specific times where you're expected to do things. They have bells that ring. They have passes for going places. It's a lot like prison. And it's interesting that you said that they're trying to turn you into a robot, because that's actually the purpose of the government school system.
Well, it's the Prussian school model. It was designed to create robotic factory workers, which does not work anymore, and I would much rather have.
Oh, it still turns out robots.
It turns out robots. It turns out robots, but that's going to be a really failed strategy. What we should be turning out is young people like this 12-year-old journalist who's been a journalist since age 8. Think of what she's going to be at age 25.
Exactly. It's pretty interesting. Joey, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. Good thoughts. And there's no age limit here on Free Talk Live. As long as you can dial a phone, get on and speak to us, we're willing to put you on the air, because people have different things and interesting things to say at all ages.
Free Talk Live. Listen live 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern or grab the podcast. It's all at freetalklive.com.